Hi friends, so today we are going to talk about a very important part of the Indian history, that is, how the British looted a massive amount of wealth from India during their rule. So recent reports have revealed that a huge amount of wealth was looted from India during the British colonial rule. That is a sum estimated at $64.82 trillion between the period British ruled India, that is between 1765 and 1900. Note that here we are speaking about T for trillions and not millions or billions of dollars. So just imagine the huge wealth that India has lost, or rather stolen by the British. Now, this massive transfer of wealth, or large scale loot, I would call it, not only made the British exponentially rich but also left India extremely poor. So let's speak about the magnitude of wealth extraction first. Now, here's the shocking part. According to a report by Oxfam International, the British Empire extracted approximately $64.82 trillion from India, that is between 1765 and 1900. Now, a significant portion of this wealth, that is around $33.8 trillion, benefited the richest 10% of the British population. To put this into perspective, this amount could carpet the surface area of the entire London city with 50-pound notes 4 times over. So you can imagine how wealthy and full of resources India used to be back then. And it also speaks about the scale of British loot and also their tremendous greed for money. Now let's talk about the strategies used by the Britain. So the British employed several strategies to siphon off wealth from India. First one being taxation and revenue policies. Heavy taxes imposed on Indian peasants and farmers, often leading to widespread poverty and famine. The revenue collected was used to fund British interests both in India as well as abroad. Second one, trade imbalances. So India was compelled to export raw materials like cotton and spices to Britain at minimal prices, only to import back finished goods at inflated prices. Third one is monopolistic practices. So companies like the East India Company were granted monopolies over trade, allowing them to dictate the terms and prices, further disadvantaging Indian producers and traders. Now coming to the impact on India's economy. In 1750, that is prior to the British rule, India accounted for approximately 25% of the global industrial output. By 1900, this figure had plummeted to a mere 2%. This drastic decline can be attributed to Britain's protectionist policies, which systematically choked India's industrial growth. If you remember, India used to be called as a Sone ki chidiya back then. But due to Britain's evil eyes on our resources, they carried out enormous wealth extraction, or I'd simply call loot, and robbed away all of our resources and wealth, and also our title of being the most wealthy and most blessed country of the world, which India used to be. So now coming to the social and cultural impact. Beyond the economic aspect, British colonial policies had a very deep and profound social and cultural aspects. First one being famine and poverty. Excessive taxation and exploitation led to several famines, the most notorious one being the Bengal famine of 1943, resulting in millions of deaths. So during this famine, millions of people of Bengal region didn't have anything to eat, leading to mass starvation as well as deaths. Second one is the cultural suppression. So traditional crafts and industries were suppressed, leading to the loss of livelihoods, and also India's rich culture and traditional heritage was also lost due to this. Now speaking about calls for compensation. So the Oxfam report emphasizes the need for compensation or paybacks to address the enduring inequalities rooted in the colonial exploitation. It advocates for a complete restructuring of the global economic system to rectify the imbalances created by centuries of looting India. Prominent figures such as author and politician Shashi Tharoor have also taken initiatives on the cause for reparations, urging Britain to acknowledge, apologize, and also compensate for the immense wealth which British had extracted from India. He has made multiple speeches in the UN, Oxford University, etc., naming and shaming the British loot, and also highlighted the case that the British does owe reparations to India. He has also written a book titled An Era of Darkness, The British Empire in India. It's an interesting read and you should definitely get your hands on it. And you'll also learn new words because Shashi Tharoor is known for having a rich vocabulary, and you can improve your vocabulary as well by going through this book. So coming to the conclusion, The extraction of $64.82 trillion from India stands as a testament to the profound economic and social impacts of colonialism. Recognizing and understanding this history is crucial as we strive towards a future marked by justice and equality. Also, it's important that we learn from the past to build a world where such exploitations are not only acknowledged but also actively rectified. Thank you for watching and exploring this pivotal chapter in history. Let us continue to seek understanding and advocate for justice in our global community.